I'm sure that our man who is on the window and talking to me is going to agree with me because he is in Milan now. And it's none other than Adriano Del Monte. Great to have him on board. Welcome to Milan.
Thank you. A wonderful welcome. Really excited about the resuming of the campaign. Obviously, the international break, time to get back into league action. And I've just come from the Antonio Conte press conference at Inter, and he said that this weekend's game for Inter is the game of our lives. So certainly it's all heating up in Italy. Plenty of big matches this weekend and the Champions League to come. What a time to be a fan of football.
Well, Australia's loss is Italy's gain, as long as we keep you as well, Adriano. Great to have you on board. And we're going to start off by talking about Juve, the big match for them away at Fiorentina. It's an interesting clash because as soon as you're away from home, question marks asked. And the question, of course, everybody's saying, can Juventus be as dominant as they were last season? What is your take on this game on Saturday?
Of course they can be as dominant as they were last season. They've arguably strengthened, given the fact that they have brought in some big money signings and some very important players on free transfers as well. An important match this weekend. Fiorentina and Juventus, old rivals. They've had a wonderful history. Fiorentina, though, a few headaches coming in. Winless in 16 Serie A fixtures. Juventus, of course, winning their opening 2 rounds, far from convincing, but a tough one to predict. Obviously, Juve with one eye on the champions.
Are you hanging up stuff in your new apartment that you disappeared for a few moments, Adriano?
I'm right here. I was still talking the whole time, so there's plenty to discuss.
Don't worry, so was I. But anyway, we've touched on quite a few things. I briefly spoke about Ronaldo. I spoke, of course, about Inter and the fact that Sanchez is arriving. We were just on the subject of Napoli, so maybe we can just pick up there and talk about what was a bit of a public relations nightmare with them, those videos coming out. Not ideal. And, of course, it's strange because that off-the-field stuff just builds pressure, doesn't it, for players and coaches on the field?
It does. The videos that emerged, of course, about their dressing rooms that aren't ready and they have a match, obviously, this weekend. And then they have Liverpool in the Champions League next week. So it's a very big week for Napoli. They obviously haven't featured at home yet this season. But I don't know what to make of it, if I'm being honest, because Napoli at the moment, under Ancelotti, last season was meant to be the season where he got things sorted, and this season was supposed to be the season where they took that next step. But these scenes certainly aren't suggesting that Napoli are prepared to dethrone and ready to dethrone Juventus in Italy this season. So not what you want to be seeing a couple of days out from their first match at home in the league, but I'm sure they'll have it sorted. Somehow, some way, everything seems to resolve itself here in Italy. I'm learning very quickly. But for Napoli, a big match this week, Sampdoria, and then Liverpool next week in the Champions League. Really excited to see where they're at under Ancelotti this season.
Let's quickly talk about the away side here, because Sampdoria themselves under pressure, particularly Di Francesco, the boss. He won't hold a press conference in the lead up to the game. What's going on there? Obviously, if you just scrape away the surface, automatically pressure, and he's not happy with the media.
Bottom of the table, Sampdoria, very surprising. And Di Francesco, of course, formerly of Roma and Sassuolo. It's been a tough start. Sampdoria were one of the revelations of last season. Fabio Quagliarella, of course, the Capocannoniere winner for the top goal scorer. They've only got the 1 goal this season, thanks to that man, Quagliarella, and things just are not clicking. Sampdoria have said, yes, no press conference this weekend. We'll speak to the media after the match. But if recent results and recent records against Napoli are anything to go by, I think they're set for another defeat and they'll make it 0 points from their opening 3.
OK, well, this is the time where I get to say goodnight to you. And now I can say an early good evening instead of good night because, of course, as we know, we used to talk to Adriano when he was in Australia and it was early hours of the morning. Now we can say that you can really enjoy your evening. So from everybody at SuperSport, have a lovely time in a beautiful city of Milan, and we'll speak to you next week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
There we go, Adriano. Well, we are getting around Europe because, as promised, we're going from lovely weather in Milan to a rather rain-pelted Valencia coming up after the break, because we've got a brand new La Liga correspondent. He's going to be talking to us, Paco Polit, who is, of course, talking La Liga, and he's going to give us the lowdown. Don't go too far away.